Hey guys, this is Prince Sports. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to sports content. And don't forget to watch more videos right now.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Um, Prince Sports again. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Um, I wanted to get into a future generation basketball talk. Three guys that um, perceived to be future stars in basketball. Um, One is Luka. Um, the other one is Trey Young, and the third is Zion Williamson. Um, who will win MVP first? Who would lead their team to a championship first? Who would be the most breakout star out of all of those three guys? I want to break them down. Um, let's start with Luka Don. Um, you know, the Godfather, the Luka Donovich. He's he has, I guess, somewhat the best skilled out of all of them. He has the NBA body already. Basically, him and Zion have an NBA body. Um, Luka is definitely most skilled. His defense needs some work on, but what I like is his ability to get his own shot off. He's pretty good at getting his own shot off. Um, he could shoot the three ball quite well. I think him and Trey are the best out of that, shooting the three ball. He get to the basket. He knows how to draw contact, and as far for team support, he has Kristaps Porzingis with him, and that's a good pickup because that guy is a good pickup because I think it puts him in position to be more successful because they're that gives him a equal 1-2. You know, Luka could be the number one and Kristaps could be the number two. That puts him in perfect position to be playoff contenders and title contenders in the future. Um, so you have to look at it like that. I think Trey is in the worst predicament out of the three because his team completely sucks. So from a team standpoint, I'm gonna give the nod to Luka because I think he has the better pieces around him. And you could also make a case or argue that Zion, especially if they re-sign Brandon, I like that. I like that team. I like the Pelicans. Um, so I would say probably. Ooh, this is a tough one. Dallas and New Orleans has lots of potential, um, but outside of Porzingis, I think Dallas is in trouble a little bit. So, I'm in terms of teams that have a more better promising future. Now that you think about it, you have to give it to New Orleans because I picked Dallas first because I don't see Kristaps going anywhere, but I do see. Um, I don't know if Brandon is going to resign with New Orleans. If he does, New Orleans is technically the team that's more suited to the playoffs and more better for a championship contender. So the nod goes to New Orleans in that case. So let's just assume Brandon resigns. Um, the second, the individual players who will win MVP most, who will have biggest impact out of those three guys. I think Trey Young will have the ball in his hands the most. He will have the most opportunity to score because his team is not as good. So that would definitely be on him to score more, and he could get his own shot off the most. So I think that'd be the most. Um, he has the most chances of winning like scoring titles and some individual awards. But MVP goes by your team success too. So Luka and Zion will have the edge on that. Um, so that takes Trey Young out the mix. So in terms of individual accomplishments, who's going to win the MVP first? It comes down to Zion and Luka. I'm gonna give I'm giving the nod to. This is a tough one. They both play in the West, so I'm gonna give the nod to. Win MVP first. I'm gonna give the nod to Luka. This is a close. This could be actually tied. Now that I think about it, let's just go both 50-50 on both because I see both of them being head to head as MVP candidates, but durability does play a role into this. So I'm not a believer of Zion and his condition. The guy is oversized. He's overweight. That could take a toll on him in the future. So if you put my back against the wall and say who's get the MVP first, I would say it's Luka in that case, because I see Luka having more longevity and playing more and having more durability than Zion. I think Zion could potentially flame out quicker than Luka, and Trae Young will flame out by default because he's on a bad team. I think he really needs to ask for a trade if he wants to compete and win some more individual awards like an MVP. Now, who do I think is going to leave more of a bigger mark on the NBA legacy-wise? If he doesn't flame out, and injuries don't take a toll on his career, that's easy. That's Zion. Zion Williamson has the most hype behind him. He has the bigger market behind him, and he's an American basketball player. So there's going to be a little bias towards Zion compared to Luka, So that's just the way it is because Zion has a lot of hype behind him. So if Zion can maintain healthiness, he's going to win that MVP, and he's going to have a better legacy than Luka. But that leaves us with the final question: who's going to have the better career? Now let's assume all these guys are healthy and nothing happens to them. I say Zion 1, Luka 2, and Trae Young 3. And who will win the championship out of all those guys first? Believe it or not, I'm gonna go with Luka because I think Dallas will surround him around better pieces, and they're a better run franchise than New Orleans. I mean, New Orleans has to kind of get lucky. It has to be like a crapshoot. So that's my rating for each. The most promising star out of those three is easily Zion Williamson because he has the most hype behind him. He's an American star. So he has the most promising career out of all three of those guys. But Luka could easily steal that. And if Zion's not injury prone, if he becomes injury prone, then Luka will steal that thunder and become the number one guy out of that three. But so far it's Zion. Peace.